live för ett nytt Starship-test. Jag har fel tröja på mig. Vad fan sysslar jag med? Jag har en god känsla för idag, alltså. Tanken klar. Jag tror inte att vi når omloppsbana. Det är en ganska dålig prediction.
Was intentional. There is a liquid oxygen dump.
Det där ser inte bra ut. Det där ser inte... Let's go! Kom igen! Wow! Kom igen! Okej. Yes! Ja då! Alright. Hallå eller? Och välkomna till en ny Starship uppskjutningsvaka. Flight 13. Det är ett spännande nummer. Och jag har faktiskt på mig Apollo 13 tröja här. Ser ni det? Failure is not an option. Som Gene Kranz sa från Mission Control under Apollo 13-olyckan. Det känns lite som att failure is not an option nu, eller hur? Eller hur? Vi har kollat på många Starship-uppskjutningar där vi liksom... Det har inte hänt så mycket. Vi har haft tonfångst och vi har haft reentry och allt sånt här. Och allting har varit jättehäftigt. Men vi har inte varit i omloppsbana på riktigt ännu, eller hur? Vi har inte sett en enda satellit deployas av Starship och nu har vi version 3, Starship V3 som just har fått flyga en gång för någon månad sedan med Starship Flight 12, vilket gick ganska bra, men det var inte picture perfect. Jag känner att det börjar bli så här typ dags för en picture perfect uppskjutning. Failure is not an option much longer. Förr eller senare vill vi få den här raketen i bruk. Vi kan inte bara skicka upp massa raketer som sprängs. Vi säger som att jag har någonting med detta att göra. Men ja, nej. Alltså på något sätt så tror jag både vi och SpaceX hade hoppats på att Starship var i bruk vid det här laget. Men nu är det V3. Det här känns som att det är en ganska pivotal uppskjutning vi kommer se idag. Den kommer förmodligen se ganska lik ut Flight 12. Det är inget nytt liksom, det är inget intressant som kommer hända förhoppningsvis, om man säger så. Ingen booster catch, ingen återanvändning av någon del, men vi behöver börja se att Boostern faktiskt kan göra sin boost backburn bra. Det kunde den inte förra gången. Det hade varit väldigt kul att se den göra en mjuk touchdown i havet den här gången. Och sen att skeppet lyckas tända en motor i omloppsbana och bevisa att den kan agera i zero G eller microgravity. allt sånt här va. För det känns som att vi är jävligt nära nu. Eller hur? Det känns som att vi liksom verkligen börjar pusha mot att få Starship i bruk. Vilket hade varit väldigt roligt. Särskilt nu när man särskilt nu när man har aktier i SpaceX, så hoppas man ju väldigt, väldigt mycket på att Starship ska börja funka. För om Starship inte är den förlovade raketen som vi alla hoppas på här, så är SpaceX jävligt övervärderad alltså. De är up there med liksom Tesla, Nvidia, TMSC, vad heter de? Chipföretaget i alla fall. Alltså SpaceX är ett av världens största företag. Men de sysslar bara med raketer. Så liksom det är en väldigt liten marknad de arbetar med för att vara ett av världens största företag. Men om Starship kommer online så kommer vi se en väldig liksom up-ramp av vad SpaceX kan göra. Vilken market de har. För plötsligt så har du både liksom Starlink som med V3-satelliterna kommer kunna tävla mot fiberkablar i internethastighet. Och så har vi rymdbaserade AI-datacenter som, givet att Starship är billig att använda, kan liksom vara up there med liksom verkligen lösa många av problemen som AI har på jorden just nu med kylning och energibehov. Och så har vi såklart Artemis-programmet och Mars som är de roliga långsiktiga målen för Starship. Som kanske inte har så mycket vinst i sig. Månen skulle kunna ha det. Men Mars känns som att det är ingenting man gör för att tjäna pengar, va? Bosätta sig på Mars. Hur som helst. Jag ska sluta köta om Starship. Not financial advice, by the way, också. Men vi kan gå över till den här vyn. Ni ser att vi har inte sett SpaceX sätta igång streamen ännu. Så det är fortfarande typ 10 minuter kvar tills de påstår sig vilja sätta igång streamen. Så vi har väl bara lite gött häng här så länge. Snacka om både Starship i allmänhet och dagens uppdrag. Men det är lite extra kul att detta blir första flygningen sen SpaceX blev börsnoterat. För det verkar påverka aktien ganska mycket hur det går med de här testen. Så tanken var ju att Starship flygtest 13 skulle vara redan för en vecka sedan. Fredagen förra veckan. Men när det var... Ja, så de tände motorerna faktiskt. Alltså det var verkligen på håret att det gick av stapeln. Men precis när de tände motorerna så var det någonting som inte riktigt kändes rätt med motorerna. Och de stängde av allting. Det var 4 motorer som inte gick igång. Så det var någonting fel med de 4 motorerna. Sen har de sen dess bytt 2 motorer. Så frågan är om de andra 2 motorerna som de inte bytta på något sätt var bara beroende av de här 2 andra uppenbart felaktiga motorerna då. Hur som helst. Den här lilla hiccupen som försköt uppskjutningen i en vecka sänkte SpaceX aktie med nästan 4%. Och sen dess har den också fallit väldigt mycket mer. Vi behöver inte gå in på det. Det gör ont i plånboken. Men det verkar i alla fall som att aktieägarna bryr sig väldigt mycket om hur det går för Starship. Och har ganska dålig koll på vad det innebär att Starship liksom abortar inför en uppskjutning. För alltså, det lilla som hände för en vecka sedan var inte att SpaceX förlorade 4% av sitt egentliga värde, om man säger så, utan det här är väldigt vanligt med Starship, att man kommer nära nollpunkten och sen avbryter man. Det är mycket mer att vi får se det idag också, men uppenbarligen tyckte ju då aktieägarna att detta var väldigt, väldigt hemskt. Och jag sitter och bara funderar, föreställ er att allting går perfekt idag. Till punkt och pricka, precis som det ska. Då kommer vi se en booster som faller ner i havet och sprängs. Och ett rymdskepp som faller ner i havet och sprängs. Kan det vara så att om allting funkar precis som det ska, så störtdyker SpaceX aktier för att det sitter massa normies som har investerat i SpaceX och kollar på detta och ser, oj, nu sprängdes massa raketer här. Det var ju inte bra. De där raketerna är dyra. Det är inget företag jag vill vara aktieägare i. Jag är lite rädd att det där faktiskt är en grej. Just det, sen vill jag fråga er, låter jag bra? Jag kanske själv ska kolla om jag låter bra faktiskt, för den här micken har börjat vara lite så här hackig i sina lägen. Så jag kommer bara fortsätta prata lite nu. Lite så här hackig i sina lägen. Så jag kommer bara fortsätta prata lite nu. Det låter ju helt perfekt. Vad gött, vad gött. Gott, gott. Det är bara 4 minuter kvar till SpaceX påstår att de ska gå live i alla fall. Men vi som har följt detta ett tag vet att det brukar inte riktigt gå av stapeln precis när de säger att de ska göra det. Jag skulle ju faktiskt kunna ta fram den här. Var sätter vi den då? Ovanför mig här. Whoop. Sådär någonting, va? Coolt. Alltså allegedly 38 minuter kvar. Jag antar att vi när de går live kommer vi se att det är lite längre kvar, men det är inte säkert, alltså ibland. Ja, det kanske bara är 38 minuter kvar faktiskt. Ja, Sock. Halloj, välkommen till streamen. Trevligt, trevligt. Nu borde de när som helst gå live här om de inte ändrat sig. Jajamän. Kan jag berätta vad de har gjort fram tills denna Starship Flight 13? Det beror på från när du menar. Alltså från Flight 12 vet jag faktiskt inte så mycket. Jag tror inte de har gjort så mycket sedan Flight 12. Antagligen ändrat vissa saker för att Boostern hade väldigt svårt att få tänt sina motorer när den skulle göra sin boost back burn. Men mer än det vet jag faktiskt inte om de har ändrat sedan dess. Men om man frågar sen Flight 11 är en hel del. Det är en helt ny utgåva av Starship som flyget nu Flight 12 och 13. Som heter Starship V3. Och dels använder den en helt ny typ av Raptor-motor. Raptor V3 istället för Raptor V2 som de tidigare har använt. Som är både en enklare design, förmodligen billigare att producera, men också kraftfullare. Men uppenbarligen då, sist den flög, svårare att återtända. Sen har de integrerat hot stage-adaptern i boostern. Så när boostern är på väg tillbaka så kommer den inte behöva släppa någonting från toppen, utan allting är helt liksom rigid fast i skeppet, om man säger så. Värmeskölden. Senaste flygningen visade värmeskölden att den var väldigt mycket bättre än vad den var tidigare. Och den lär de ju säkert ha förbättrat lite inför den här flygningen också. Sen inför den här flygningen, något som är lite intressant med den här flygningen är att de har riktiga Starlink V3-satelliter ombord. Men de ska inte upp i omloppsbana, för rymdskeppet ska inte upp i omloppsbana. Rymdskeppet ska ju precis som alltid åka till Indiska oceanen och göra en splashdown där. Vilket betyder att de här Starlink-satelliterna, som är full-fledged Starlink-satelliter, inte så här dummy-satelliter den här gången. De ska släppas ut och så är de i rymden i 30 minuter och sen brinner de upp i atmosfären. Vilket jag kan tycka låter som ett jävla slöseri på liksom avancerad hårdvara. Men bättre att testa med riktiga maskiner, antar jag, än att testa med dockor. Hell yeah.
Hello and
nu kan jag ta
welcome
bort
to
min
Starbase, Texas.
sån
It's
också.
5:19 p.m. Texas time, and we are just over 31.5 minutes away from Starship Flight 13.
Och kolla, de har en helt ny uppskjutningsramp också. Det är typ ännu mer intressant, för den här uppskjutningsrampen är bra mycket bättre än den som de använde fram till Flight 11. Du ser att de har en riktig flame trench nu, bland annat. Och dessutom är den mycket mer rigid, byggd i hållbarare material och sådär. SpaceX själva påstår att de kan flyga varje timma med en ny Super Heavy från den här. Så liksom bara landa, flyga 20 gånger om dagen basically. Tror kanske inte riktigt på det, men om det är ens en tiondel av det så är det väldigt imponerande.
Back in May, the first test flight of Starship version 3 delivered tons of data, and we'll be putting those learnings into practice today on Flight 2. All of this brings us one step closer to a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle, the key to enabling frequent flights to the Moon and Mars. Starship will also enhance Starlink's constellation and connectivity on Earth, the Moon, and beyond, while helping establish a network of AI data centers in space. Success on today's suborbital mission also opens the door for near-future orbital flights and our first attempt to catch ship on Tower 2 here at Starbase.
And this is an exciting day for the Starlink team as well, as we're planning to deploy 20 of the newest generation Starlink satellites. These sats aren't intended for operational use and will only be in space for about 20 minutes before demising. But during those 20 minutes, we're going to attempt to speedrun a bunch of tests. Things like deploying solar arrays, firing thrusters. We'll get into those a little bit later into the show.
Yeah, and what Starlink engineers learned today will be essential to deploying operational V3 satellites into the Starlink constellation on future Starship flights. These larger, more powerful next-generation satellites
Just
are
det, den här
designed to
streamen
boost orbital capacity, strengthen the overall
brought to you
network,
by
and deliver
Starlink.
a noticeably better
Jag sitter på en
experience for our
Starlink-uppkoppling just
customers.
nu som vanligt,
As we've said
men för er
before,
som kanske är nya
Starship
till
is
streamen
a
så kan jag bara säga
developmental
att
program. What we're
SpaceX
doing today
supportar
is a
även den här
test.
streamen genom
Test
att
and flight because it's the best
ha
way to
sålt
rapidly
en
iterate the
Starlink-antenn till mig.
design, and it's the best way to put the vehicle through its paces
Så det är lite
in actual
poetiskt liksom. Vi
conditions
kollar här
we'll experience
på
during an
Starlinks
operational
framtid genom
exactly.
Starlink
So
liksom.
while we have real Starlink satellites on board, the most important payload today is data. But no matter the outcome of today's test flight, excitement is once again guaranteed.
Now let's head a couple of floors upstairs where Dan Hewitt is just outside the Launch Control Center. How's it going, Dan?
Hey, Nate. It is going great. Hi to you and Kate. Hello, everybody else. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Happy to be here with you for another launch day. As Kate noted, our first attempt to launch this flight test last Thursday ended early in a pad abort. Let's dig into that a little bit. So 4 of Super Heavy's 33 Raptor engines aborted at startup due to issues with their aux turbo pumps. Those rapidly pressurize and feed liquid oxygen into the engine for combustion. For those of you that like to pay real close attention to the on-screen telemetry, you saw this at T0 during that first attempt. We command the engines to start up simultaneously. You get some slight differences as the engine adapts in real time, but you saw 4 not light up. So 4 out of 33, what exactly happened? We have a launch constraint built in where we can only be down 2 Raptor engines at liftoff. So the vehicle detected more than that, we're out. Automatically aborted before the final T0, safely shut down all of the engines that started up. We dug through the data, and what we saw was some off-nominal spin response in the aux turbo pumps on 6 of the engines. So the most likely root cause was determined. We were collecting some moisture inside of the pumps from previous operations, which then froze when we introduced that cryogenic propellant, and that either slowed those pumps down or stopped them completely from spinning. So for this next flight attempt, we swapped in 6 engines that were already at Starbase, and we did a test back on Wednesday that allowed us to check out the newly installed engines and spin the aux pumps on all 33 after they were chilled, check out their performance before we got into another launch attempt. We pulled a bunch of those engines off, as we said. We tested one on a test stand up at McGregor, helped screen for any other issues that might be hiding, and that one was actually able to do a full booster ascent burn. So got us in a good position for today. Even though we didn't get off the pad last week, we learned about the engines, the prop systems, how they perform in the flight environment. Already going to drive some changes to make Starship more reliable. We also got a real-world test of an abort that's designed to take place at one of the most critical dynamic phases of flight. We safely shut down 29 running Raptor engines, safeguarded the vehicle and the pad.
Det är ganska imponerande faktiskt. Jag trodde att flera av de där motorerna skulle gå sönder av avstängningen liksom.
Scenarios, how we want the vehicle to respond, just to give us the best possible path to maximize safety, preserve the mission and the hardware, so we're able to do that. All right, that was then. This is now Flight 13's second attempt. So things are looking really good at the moment. Just behind me here is the Launch Control Center. Everybody's on console, looking at the systems on board the vehicle and on the pad as we count down to liftoff. Propellant load is underway. We slipped a little bit into our window as we waited for some last couple of things to settle out, and we are targeting a liftoff at 5:51 p.m. Central Time. Weather today, you can see we've got blue skies. We're going to do a little weather corner here for a second because we were originally attempting to fly yesterday, and we didn't because of, we said, weather. I want to be clear, the cause of not flying was visibility. It had nothing to do with launch weather constraints. One of the key goals
Jag
of
tror det
this
blir
flight
något idag.
is to get very clear imagery of the tiles on Starship as we're flying it.
Det brukar vara någonstans här efter en eller två avbrutna försök som det faktiskt går bra. Kolla vädret! Alltså anledningen till att de avbröt igår var för att vädret var mulet och de ville kunna se Starship från marken så de kunde inspektera värmeskölden medan de flög upp. Det här är Bluebird. De kom så jävla nära första försöket förra veckan. Så jag tror den här gången går det av stapeln på utsagd tid till och med.
Aside from weather, we're watching the range both in the Gulf right here off Starboard
Ja,
in the
visst,
Indian
det
Ocean.
var
That's currently
en
green.
rejält
We're not
antiklimax.
tracking any vehicle or pad issues that will preclude a launch today. Speaking of the pad, that launch infrastructure, it's every bit as complicated.
Men det betyder att jag kan streama nu. Jag var inte hemma för att kunna streama sist. Eller förra veckan. Men nu är jag tillbaka. Så det var ju lite så här tur i oturen för mig i alla fall. Fan vad fint.
When we're only a week out from flight, my main focus is getting into flight. The thing that separates us from a lot of other companies is that we test fast and we
Kolla
test
den
often,
jävla
and
flame
that includes
diverten alltså.
launches. We want to make sure the vehicle's all ready to go. We want to make sure the ground's all ready to go, but we also don't want to be caught in analysis paralysis.
Our main objective today is a 10-engine static fire. Aboard. Om ni inte sett dokumentärerna som de här klippen är ifrån, så gör det. Den första heter Test Like You Fly, som är 25 minuter av bara 4K underbara SpaceX shots. Och den andra heter Critical Path och är uppföljaren till Test Like You Fly. Det är två riktigt fina dokumentärer med riktigt fina vyer. De kommer nog fortsätta den serien ända till Starship är operational, skulle jag gissa.
We actually had another pad abort on the diverter.
Basically, right during engine firing, it was so much noise and vibration that it actually shook the sensors that are located out in this area enough that they aborted us out of the test. We went back obviously afterwards and looked at all the data and tried to come up with smarter ways to basically still protect the integrity of the diverter throughout the operation while changing our parameters so that we were making sure that we would not abort again.
A flame diverter is like a super simple concept that is like not at all complicated in operation and is just absolutely murderous in the details. These are extremely sophisticated thermal
splashdown för bägge.
sensing devices. If they turn into melted metal,
Det mest intressanta idag är kanske att kolla på om Boostern tar sig ner till en mjuk splashdown. Förra gången så gick inte boost backburnen som tänkt. Och sen när den var nära marken, eller nära vattnet, inte alls där den skulle vara nära vattnet, men ändå när den var nära vattnet så fick den också inte igång motorerna som den skulle. Så den bara störtdök i vattnet i hundratals kilometer i timmen.
The amount of energy that water can absorb is like miraculous. And so if you can get high enough pressure water in the right places and just allow it to flash boil that water,
Jag är fortfarande förbryllad att detta inte är Dan Hoot. Jag satt hela dokumentären och bara, är det Dan Hoot eller är det inte Dan Hoot? Så jag var tvungen att liksom skra tillbaka och kolla på namnet och såg att han heter Justin och bara, vad fan, har de två Dan Hoot alltså? De har en imposter.
One entire Olympic swimming pool being drained in the course of a minute.
You're trying to look into this thing and you see how like glowing hot it is, it's just yeah, a pretty impossible environment to keep something happy in. But and you zoom in and the flame deflector's still there, so that's the reason we build those things.
Putting the rocket into human terms is something really tough. 65,000 pounds per second of propellant that is coming out of the engines. And again, just like 18 million pounds of thrust, like what does that number mean? I think of like 11 Ford F-150 trucks per second just zipping out of the bottom of the rocket. It's like imagine if you had the world's biggest machine gun, except for instead of shooting bullets, it was shooting pickup trucks, and it's just firing 11 pickup trucks per second out of the bottom of the rocket. It's like, do you think your stuff could survive that?
And it is so satisfying to watch the slow motion flame diverter shots.
Kardashev-scale
Right, and just hear all the exciting
tröja.
stories of how we tackle these
Är det
problems out
official
here in
SpaceX
Starbase.
merch?
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Ja,
And
kanske
by the
måste
way,
skaffa mig en
if that looks
Kardashev-scale
like fun
tröja,
to
alltså.
you, come join our team. We are seeking scrappy problem solvers to help us build the future. Okay, let's go meet the rocket out on the pad, Starship version 3. It's the most powerful rocket ever developed and ever flown.
And it's also the tallest at just over 407 feet tall, fully stacked. It is massive. Standing at the base and looking up is like looking up at a 40-story building. Incredible.
Yes, it's a two-stage rocket. Both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again, making that thing that you see on your screen the first fully reusable rocket ever. The bottom half, or the first stage, is the Super Heavy booster. That's the silver part. It's powered by 33 of our newest iteration, you see them there on your screen now, Raptor 3 engines. They run on liquid methane and oxygen, and this version of Raptor provides a significant increase in thrust. With that additional thrust, as you can see here by these comparisons, the version that we're launching today, version 3 on the far right, that version of Starship gets off the pad much faster than our previous versions. The one on the far left is, I believe, is actually our Flight 1 footage, and in comparison, they really just go.
Yep. And now Super Heavy has 3 grid fins, which you can think of as aerodynamic rudders. You see them on your screen now. They help steer during landing. They're 50% larger than on previous booster versions and are designed to support rapid reuse and a more stable atmospheric reentry.
I love that shot there. And at the top of the booster, we've got the hot stage adapter. It's designed to protect the booster during separation, and now it's fully integrated for reusability.
And stacked right above that is our upper stage of the rocket, or stage 2. It's what we call ship. It's powered by 6 Raptor engines, 3 optimized to sea level performance, and 3 for the vacuum of space.
Ship's design could one day enable point-to-point transfer on Earth, meaning you could travel anywhere on the planet in an hour or less. Sounds pretty great to me.
Sounds awesome.
It's designed to carry massive orbital payloads, both cargo and crew, to Earth orbit, the moon, Mars, and beyond.
And for the first time, we are carrying real Starlink V3 satellites to space. For more on that, let's head out to California, where Tyler is standing by with the team in Hawthorne. How's it going, Tyler?
We're doing great over here, Nate. Thank you both. I'm Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. Now, for those of you who have been following along, the Starlink version 3 satellites have been designed to take full advantage of Starship's payload capacity. And we're going to get our first look at those satellites today. The Starlink V3 is our next-gen satellite, and it includes meaningful increases in capacity, data density, and power
full
generation.
HD,
So we'll be
1080p,
adding around 20
till
times
4K,
capacity into the constellation
till
on each
720p.
Starship mission as compared to the version 2 satellites that we launch on Falcon. And that means that we'll be able to serve more people all around the world and with increasingly better high-speed internet. Like all Starlink satellites, the V3s are built at Starlink's site in Redmond, Washington, where we already build more satellites than anyone else in the world today. Now, the V3 sats are designed to support 1 terabit per second of downlink and 160 gigabits per second of uplink capacity. That's approximately a 10 times improvement in downlink capacity and around a 22 times increase in uplink capacity from the version 2 Starlink satellite. Serving this capacity to and from customers are the satellite's upgraded phased array antennas. The upgraded phased arrays are fed by SpaceX's in-house developed chips that were designed to serve customers more efficiently in both densely and sparsely populated regions simultaneously. And each Starlink V3 satellite is also equipped with 6 high-capacity 400 gigabit space lasers. Now, these 6 lasers will allow high-bandwidth traffic to flow uninterrupted between any 2 points in the world with redundant paths across a petabit laser mesh network. And if that wasn't enough, the V3s will carry 4 quad-band radio frequency backhaul antennas. And these will take advantage of the Ka, E, V, and W communication bands, allowing for an 8 times improvement in supported capacity compared to the V2 sats. And that's a lot of growth in capacity and capability. And as such, the new satellite design requires more power. So the solar arrays on V3 will generate approximately twice as much power as the current arrays that we fly on the V2 satellites. And they're also optimized to reduce drag in the lower orbital altitudes in which these new satellites will operate. But before we operationalize these satellites, we want to put them in a flight-like environment. These satellites were loaded into Starship last week ahead of that first attempt. And once deployed, the Starlink team will only have about 20 minutes of flight to speed run some of these tests before the sat's demise in the atmosphere. The team will attempt to run tests such as extending the new solar arrays and antennas, connecting with ground stations, and turning on the satellite's communication systems. And this is all part of SpaceX's iterative process to technology advancement. From the very beginning, Starlink was designed to scale rapidly and improve continuously. From production to launch and ground infrastructure, Starlink is uniquely positioned to keep pace with rising demand around the world. In fact, just last week, we rolled out the next generation Starlink kit, the V5, which is built for reliable, high-speed home internet.
Alltså jag tyckte det här var lite av en downgrade från V4, om jag får säga så. Smaller, lighter. Jo, tjena. Det är ju bra. Det är det ni har Starlink Mini till. More power efficient. Jättebra. Det är det ni har Starlink Mini till. Den här är sämre. Den har sämre throughput än vad V4 har. Det är en långsammare internet alltså.
All right, you heard from Tyler. A lot of work going on with Starlink. We've also started development on an entirely new satellite constellation, StarMind, our AI satellites. I got to sit down with Elon and Starlink's director of satellite engineering, Ian Dahl. We covered a whole bunch of stuff, really focused on what are the 3 limiting factors to making data centers in space a reality. First one we talked about was mass to orbit. That's where Starship comes in. We're going to need megatons into low Earth orbit, and we're going to be combining its full reusability and the really big payload capacity to launch the number of satellites that we're talking about, because we plan to deploy up to 1 million AI satellites. Those are going to function as those orbital data centers using Starship for the high volume, low cost launches.
SpaceX behöver verkligen få ut X-appen på smart-tvs. Ja! Ja! Oh my god, ja! Inför att jag skulle försöka kolla på detta förra veckan när jag inte var hemma, så satt jag och försökte få allting att funka på smart-tvn. Det var hemskt. Det gick inte. Det slutade med att vi fick ta en laptop och koppla in i HDMI i tvn.
Compute is going to become the lowest cost option as those launch costs continue to drop and Earth-based constraints continue to grow. It's going to just transform how Earth powers AI, unlocks the future. And then our third limiting factor that we got to go figure out is going to be chips, and we got to do that fast.
Så här streams förtjänar stora
skärmen. That's going to be the most epic chip building effort ever. Not just churning out really cool advanced chips.
Det där är en stor fabrik, hörru du.
Massive scale location to do it. We're talking 100 million square feet, so about 10 Tesla gigafactories. All of this together sounds fantastical a bit out there, but these are real steps that we are taking right now that are going to set us up to eventually become a galactic civilization. That sounds really cool. I mean, harnessing meaningful amounts of power from the sun, supporting all of those AI applications that are going to change our daily lives and making humanity a multi-planetary species. If you want to learn more, you can watch the full conversation on our website. Hopefully a link appears on the screen. If not, go look up StarMind. So the future is looking pretty sweet, but first things first, we've got Flight 13 ahead. Let's jump down to Kate and Nate for what's ahead.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, the future is built on progressive steps like today's test. So let's dive into the flight profile that we're going to see today.
That's right, we've got an exciting day in store. So starting with liftoff, Super Heavy will ignite those 33 Raptor 3 engines right off of Pad 2 here in Starbase. We will then power through ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where the booster will shut down all but 5 engines at the bottom. Stage 2 will then light its own Raptor engines, pushing off from Super Heavy and starting our stage separation maneuver known as hot staging. We will then have the directional booster flip using 33 engines.
Jag hoppas vi går
After
bra.
coasting for a few minutes, the booster today will target a landing burn and ocean splashdown a few miles off the coast of Starbase.
Ship is going to keep the party going with its ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory, followed by deployment of those 20 Starlink V3 satellites. We also plan to relight a single Raptor engine. Re-entry is just a few minutes later, which should provide some amazing views thanks to Starlink. And typically we see some pretty fantastic views of the ship's blistering re-entry through the Earth's atmosphere. A plasma blanket will form around the vehicle and never prevails to provide epic scenes. And lastly, we'll conclude today's test with a landing flip, a landing burn, and a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And with that, let's kick it over to Dan for a countdown update.
Thanks, Kate. Good news. We
All
just heard
right.
from the flight director. We are T-minus 10 minutes. We're a little bit past that now, not tracking any issues for launch
Nice,
today.
nice.
Range continues to be green. Our range team hard at work, making sure we're clear out in the Gulf and in the Indian Ocean, where we're going to be sending the Starship. Weather continues to be gorgeous. Again, no clouds. We scrubbed our attempt yesterday.
kolla
or didn't even
flapsen.
try yesterday
Flapsen rör
because we
sig.
had such poor visibility. Weren't going to be able to see those tiles on the way up.
Hell yeah.
That's a key kind of experiment objective for this flight today. And so we're looking really good with weather today. In the future, we'll see what kind of adverse weather we can fly into. We are capable and allowed to launch into lightning, but we're going to utilize that new capability carefully as we eventually continue to evolve Starship to fly it at an airplane-like cadence. You can see the prop load there on your screen. We're just about closed out on the main tanks on the ship. We just started propellant load in the header tanks on Starship. Those are the 2 smaller ones up top that we'll hopefully be using for the in-space burn and a landing burn at the end of its mission. We started loading our propellant at about T-minus 35 minutes today, and we're going to continue all the way down until we're inside 3 minutes to launch. We'll close out at about T-minus 2 minutes and 50 seconds on booster, and then 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the ship. So at the moment, we're looking good. That launch time, 5:51 p.m. Central, a couple of minutes into our window today. So we'll be back real soon. Toss it back down to Kate and Nate.
Thanks, Dan. Recently, NASA announced the astronauts for the upcoming Artemis 3 mission. The Artemis 3 mission is a crewed demonstration mission in low Earth orbit designed to demonstrate critical systems needed for future lunar landings. Astronauts Andre Douglas, Luca Parmitano, Randy Bresnik, and Frank Rubio, as seen there on your screen, they will crew the mission, and it's slated for 2027.
It's a great crew, and it's also the penultimate mission, the final test before Artemis 4 attempts to put astronaut boots back on the moon for the first time since 1972. We'll be launching a Starship with a docking port on the nose so we can practice rendezvous and docking with the crew. And one key test objective comes after docking, where we will be able to test out maneuverability of the vehicles together while in space. This has the new importance as the revamped plan for lunar landings use Starship to do the burn, sending astronauts to the moon from Earth orbit.
And one other cool ad, NASA is putting 2 SpaceX mini lasers on Orion to connect it to our Starlink constellation with the goal of enabling 4K imagery and video from the spacecraft while in space. So that's going to be pretty awesome to see.
Awesome views for sure.
Yeah, there's lots of excitement planned for next year as we all work together to send humans back to the moon. And speaking of sending humans to space, former SpaceXer and current NASA astronaut Anil Menon is actually up on the space station right now as part of Expedition 74. And he captured these sweet photos of Starbase during an ISS flyover.
Cool.
Hi, Anil. We're all waving back at you, buddy. It's awesome to see the whole picture here as there's lots of facility and infrastructure development going on.
In the future.
Yeah, exactly. And that future gets closer and closer with tests like today's flight. And with that, we are just under 6 minutes until launch. So that brings us to terminal count. Excitement is definitely getting traction down here as the crowd is gathering just behind us on the lawn outside. And happy to say, still not a cloud in the sky. Dan, how are things up at Mission Control?
Med Starlink. Så
really good,
om ni vill säkerställa att ni får en väldigt smooth vy av streamen så borde ni gå till SpaceX.com och kolla på deras direkta stream. Eller till någon annan YouTuber, Everyday Astronaut, NASA Space Flight, What About It. Det finns många som streamar detta. Men det finns risk att jag kommer DC och buffra lite här då. Men just nu ser det ganska stabilt ut. Så vi får hoppas att det håller sig så.
Where we clear out all of the prop that's been flowing through feed lines up into the launch mount, up into the tower. Those go back into the propellant farm, get it ready, and we'll do those final thrust vector control, those steering checks as we get a little bit closer. If we need to hold that hold time, it's new for this launch, and we saw it briefly on our attempt last week. That hold is set at T-minus 60 seconds now. That's where we can pause, we can wait. We need to just kind of hang out for any pressurizations, anything like that to clear. We've got a couple of minutes to hang there. We will only hold if there's an issue, and we're not tracking any holds on the board right now.
That's right. Now, once T-minus 60 seconds passes, a number of events will occur in rapid succession. Both the ship and booster will configure their comm systems for flight, and they will rapidly run leak checks on gas and fluid tanks. Meanwhile, the booster will be going into internal power, and its engines will get their final priming for launch. Those ship engines will also begin their ascent bleed profile, and it will arm its automatic flight safety system. There's a lot of mechanical activations on the tower side as well, with one critical step being unlatching of the quick disconnect, feeding propellant into the ship.
And once T-minus 60 seconds has passed, we still have the ability to rapidly recycle the count under certain conditions back to that T-minus 60 seconds point and hold there to assess what happened and if teams can proceed once again to T0. There's an estimated 5 to 8 minutes of hold time, and that's largely driven by the propellant temperatures that we see on the vehicle while holding. The flame diverter on pad 2, you can see it there at the base of Starship. That activates at T-minus 17 seconds. Now, if we trigger a hold after T-minus 17 seconds, that will result in a scrub for the day, as we've already turned on the water. Now, for those that have just recently tuned in, once again, our primary test objectives for today's test flight includes a successful liftoff, stage separation. We also plan to deploy 20 Starlink V3 satellites. We have real satellites on board. We expect to have about 20 minutes of available time to speed run some tests and really allow the Starlink engineers to put them to the test in that time.
That's right, and we also have the soft splashdowns planned for both the booster and the ship. Going to be super exciting to see if we can return those safely back, so that way we can get ready for
tower catches again. De har aldrig haft någon drönare eller
boy
för boostern.
And just a quick check-in, we got our final green light from the range, not tracking any issues on ascent or out in the Indian Ocean for entry, so that was kind of the final go for flight that we wait for in these final minutes.
2 minuter.
Now closing out on both vehicles. We have no holds on the board. Again, we've got that gate at T-minus 1 minute. We're only going to hold if there's a reason, and currently there are no reasons.
Coming up here in a few seconds, we should have, actually right there we can see on screen, that's the base of the Super Heavy booster. Those are the 33 Raptor engines, and we expect to see the TVC checkouts, also known as engine wiggles. We're activating those thrust vector control actuators to ensure that those center engines and the inner radius as well have the ability to steer the rocket.
Yep, super cool to see how fast those move. I mean, in flight, it's amazing to see how it steers the vehicle. And we're coming up on that T-minus 1 minute now on our countdown, so let's listen in to see if we pass that gate.
Ja, precis. Och vi tar oss förbi 1 minut markören här då.
Okay.
We are through the gate. Still no holds on the board. 50 seconds to go.
Får vi se
Starship getting
om det
ready
bär
to
av.
fly.
Alltså sekunderna går långsamt nu alltså.
Flight directors go for launch.
All right. Kom igen då. Ingen jävla abort den här gången.
-9, 8, 7, 6.
Now or never.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes! Kom igen. Clear the tower. Ja, men det är så fint. Det är så fint. Let's go. Alla motorer kör. Alla motorer. Fuck yeah.
30 seconds into flight. 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on the super heavy booster arcing away from us here at Starbase. Coming up on max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure, which again for this flight is going to be higher than it has been on any of our previous Starship flights.
Oh wow, det här var en cool kameravinkel. Det här har vi inte haft tidigare, right?
So we're passing through that maximum aerodynamic pressure over a minute now into flight. Still seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit and burning. Our next major moment's going to be coming up in just a little over a minute from now when we're going to get to hot staging. We're going to shut down all but 5 of those engines on the booster. It's our version of MECO. Most engines cut off. And then we're going to ignite the 6 engines on the ship while it is still attached to do that separation. As a reminder, we try to do a directional flip, so
when you
watch on your screen, we're hopefully going to be sending that booster towards the bottom of the frame. For the booster itself, it's like doing a flip up. It'll go towards the bottom of your frame. We do that by lighting the engines in a slightly staggered sequence.
Wow, kolla den kameran då! Mitt i engine-klustret. Jävlar vad varma de där rören ser ut, eller? De är nog varma dessutom. Okej. Nu ska jag utkik på Boostern här då. Och skeppets motorer. Okej, Boostern kör. Med jävligt många motorer.
And the booster now doing its boost back burn. It looks like we lit all 33 initially. Now we're down to 13. We're seeing 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on the ship.
Just nu ser det jättebra ut. Right. Boostern har gjort sitt. Lycka till på vägen ner då.
So
och 6 motorer på skeppet. Vi får inte glömma hur sketchy den här stunden var under Starship V3-eran. När typ varannat skepp, om inte ännu mer, misslyckades med liksom orbit insertion burnen.
It's going to be landing a couple of miles offshore from Starbase.
Precis, förra gången var det mycket mer sketchy med motorerna på Boostern. Det här såg så clean ut.
They're going to ignite. That's what's going to really bleed off all that velocity that it's built
Även förra flygningen så hade vi en Raptor Vacuum Engine, Raptor Vacuum motor som inte funkade optimalt på skeppet. Just nu har vi 6 helt fungerande motorer. Så det
ship. Still seeing 6 out of 6 Raptor.
Vi börjar
engines
känna
lit.
failure is not an
4
option
minutes into the flight. Ship's got about 4 minutes left.
själen här.
Getting some killer
Eller hur?
views. Kate, Nate, how was the view from down there?
It was incredible. I mean, it just shot off the pad, and seeing all the crowd now running back inside to take views on the screen here, it was amazing.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna learn to not stare at the engines because now I have a bright blob in my vision. But now speaking of vision, we could see both stages there on your screen. Starship's second stage is still firing its engines. You can follow along.
På det här testet kommer
with the
ingenting
GUI down on the
återanvändas.
bottom right hand side of your screen.
Det är
Still
möjligt
following
att
the
saker kommer
planned
fiskas
flight
upp
path as
från
well.
Boostern. Det
Beautiful
har
views
hänt
of planet
tidigare
right there
att de
behind
liksom
the
fiskar
ship.
upp motorerna från Boostern för att liksom analysera dem.
That's right, and we're actually getting a live shot off
när
the
Boostern väl
right
landar i
now
vattnet
on
så är det
camera.
ingen idé att liksom
You can
försöka
see the
återanvända
plume
den.
from Starbase where it just lifted off 5 minutes ago.
Nominal trajectory.
We are there.
Incredible. We are there. That is us.
I kind of want to run back outside and wave.
Right. Now, again, this booster is not planning to come back to the tower or the launch site for this particular launch. We are going to be planning to do an ocean splashdown just off the coast of Starbase. So hoping to still get some amazing views of that.
Pretty awesome to see the Raptor engines there on the left-hand side of your screen. We can actually see the plume there of those center Raptors. Those are the sea level ones, as well as the vacuum Raptors are the 3 on the larger ones on the outer radius.
Ja, de har faktiskt återanvänt Booster redan, vilket är sjukt. De återanvände väl den första de landade, visst var det så? Det gjorde de inte med Falcon 9, kan jag berätta.
Awesome shot, you can see it there.
Okej.
So right now
Okej, då ska vi se om den här lyckas tända sina motorer igen då.
To guide itself through the atmosphere toward its landing site. You can see we're only 5 kilometers above the sea right here.
Ett antal. Det där tror jag inte är riktigt optimalt, va?
I have a feeling the crowd's about to go wild here.
Bättre än sist. Men
another awesome landing for Super Heavy.
Det var nog inte riktigt det där de hade hoppats på.
At Starbase and at our SpaceX team. An amazing view.
Det var bra mycket bättre än sist i alla fall. Det får man göra. Det får man göra. Kul om man fick följa med den hela vägen ner också. Bra connection på Starlink där.
It didn't look like we lit all 13 engines that we were planning for that initial landing burn. We were targeting a softer splashdown, and as you saw, it came in with quite a bit of velocity still. So landing velocity did look a little bit high, but really cool to make it all the way back this time to that landing burn. We'll dig in, figure out how to turn on all those engines, and then get to a full landing soon. But all eyes on ship.
Ja, då kan vi nog fetglömma en booster catch nästa flygning i alla fall.
Away from getting those engines turned off. We expect it to burn about 8 minutes and change. And so hopefully just about 15 minutes to go. Sounds like we just got the sonic boom
yeah,
here
we sure
at
did.
Starbase
Wow.
from the booster splashdown. And engine shutdown. All right, Starship 6 Raptor engines have successfully shut down.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there's our call out for nominal orbit insertion. So we got a ship in space. We've got a booster.
Undrar vad det är som gör att landningarna är så svåra nu när de fångat Boostern tidigare.
Yeah, it sure is. All of our colleagues here are filing in through the doors. A lot of people wanted to stay outside and hear the boom, and so
De här
it's pretty great
Raptor
to see a ship in
V3-motorerna
space,
verkar inte
and
helt
everybody's super excited
jättelätta
down here.
att återtända. Det är väl det som har ändrats här, antar jag. Jag är inte en raketingenjör, ska sägas, så det kan ju vara pumparna eller bränsletankarna eller vad fan som helst annat. De har ändrat ganska mycket, men de nya raketmotorerna är en sak som ändras i alla fall.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes until the next milestone, so sit tight and enjoy the space views and, of course, the space jams. We'll be back here at T+14 minutes to deploy our payload, which is 20 of our newest Starlink version 3 satellites. So we'll see you soon.
Ja. Det var väl inte så pjåkigt so far. Ska vi se aftermarket hours på SpaceX aktie här då? Nej, den störtdök. Det var på väg upp en liten bit och sen störtdök. Ah, shit.
Ship FTS is saved.
Jag tror det hängde med. Aktien hängde med Boostern ner i Atlantens djup alltså. Vad fan är det jag kollar på? Alltså ser ni att det är liksom rektangulära bitar av värmeskölden? Som liksom papper de har limmat på. Eller något sånt där. Det är inte papper. Om någon missförstår min ironi. Men så har det väl inte alltid sett ut. Det brukar väl vara hexagoner hela vägen upp tills där det blir stål. Är det en del av värmeskölden ens? Vad är det för svarta brickor? Men då ska jag gå och fixa lite nattamat och hämta en ny dricka. Men jag kommer tillbaka. Ha det gött.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready to deploy 20 Starlink version 3 satellites. That will get underway after we open the payload door in just about a minute. Now, for those of you that perhaps missed the previous 14 minutes, this is the second flight of Starship version 3. This is flight 13. It lifted off. It had a beautiful ascent as well as a ship ignition and stage separation. It was literally picture perfect from here at Starbase.
Picture perfect, and then we continued with that booster hot stage separation. Amazing to see some live replays of that. And of course, the booster performing its own boost back and landing.
Yeah, ship continued for about 8 minutes with all 6 of its engines and made it to second engine cutoff, where we heard good orbital insertion, and we've been coasting in space for the last few minutes. Now we're getting ready to deploy our very first real Starlink version 3 satellites. The door will be opening here in just about 6 seconds from now. Now we won't have the same views as we did on flight 12 of our payload. We don't have those cameras on board these Starship version 3s. That was a Dodger Dog exclusive, but we will be able to see them deploy from the ship.
As Kate said, we should see the door open up really soon if we haven't quite gotten it open already. We've got 20 of these Starlink V3 satellites. Looks like the PEZ door is open. And so, yeah, this is the first time we've got Starlink V3 satellites getting ready to go into space. And I mean, these things are really just kind of crazy upgrades that they're going to bring to the network, where you start talking about just symmetric gigabit speeds through the Starlink network pretty much anywhere on the planet that this is going to unlock. So really exciting. These satellites are only going to be in space for about 20 minutes. Sorry about that. These will only be in space for about 20 minutes, as they're on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship itself. This is essentially just giving us a chance to try and run as many tests as possible, deploy the solar arrays, antennas, whatever we can on these vehicles. We are intentionally being a little scrappy with it. They might be playing some bumper cars once they're out of the door, but we are looking to get these deployed over the next couple of minutes. In the meantime, they're getting ready to also do the Raptor in space relight. Listening to a little bit of conversation on that, but we are currently tracking to do it. I'll give you some updates if we hear otherwise.
And there you go. You can see our first Starlink V3 getting deployed out of Starship. Huge milestone for the team out here.
Yeah, the crowd is definitely hyped about this. We could see these Starlink V3s continuing to pop out with deployment assisted by the PEZ dispenser. Now, this version of Starship is built to deploy up to 60 of these more advanced Starlink version 3 satellites. Each V3 is designed to offer 1 terabit per second of downlink capacity.
Jo, men visst.
Now, let's put that into Falcon 9
inte riktigt Nutella.
A Starship
Det är en
launch
faror
with
med sånt.
V3
Men det
satellites will launch 20
hasselnötskräm i alla
times
fall.
the capacity into the constellation as a single launch of V2 satellites on Falcon 9. Just incredible.
And anybody that follows Starship, you know that the views that we're being treated to right now, the views we get during those re-entries, that's made possible by Starlink. It's given us just this
Sen har jag en liten bit torkat renkött här också.
As it's flying through space, hurtling through the atmosphere. It's powering the dozens of cameras we have on board. It's giving us real-time data on every system that's telemetered on board that vehicle in real time. We use the exact same constellation to power all of our cameras that we have out in the field here in the Indian Ocean. So really powerful technology for
inte uppenbart att det
passar
till
where the heck you are
till något så väldigt sött, men
So
Vem fan bryr
thank you,
sig?
Starlink, for letting me watch this stuff as we fly through space. It's pretty awesome. We get about 240 megabits per second of data rate off Starship, which everybody in the spaceflight community knows that's pretty insane when you're usually dealing with single digits on some of the older systems. So gives you a lot of insight, gives you a lot of ability to just rapidly iterate, know what the heck happened when things go wrong. But looks like we're seeing some more satellites get out the door. We do have cameras on some of them.
Cool.
The last couple that are going to go out are going to try and do the heat shield imaging that we attempted last flight. We don't have that camera view that we got on Flight 12 where you kind of see the satellite leaving Starship. Those aren't on the V3 satellites. But we are going to, on the last couple that go out, have some pretty narrow field view cameras that are going to be looking back at Starship, turn on some flashlights. And this is a test of a capability that we're really going to want when we start doing orbital flights, to just add that extra layer of safety, that extra layer of reliability, where we're going to be able to image Starship's heat shield after it's gone through ascent, after it's been in space, before it re-enters. So we're going to try to test that again today. The heat shield imaging, we didn't get a whole lot last time. Ooh, looks like we got some thunderstorms on planet Earth below us. But a couple more satellites to go, it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see our V3s in space. I want to give a shout out to our Starlink colleagues. And we expect payload deploy to run until about 27.5 minutes, so about another 7 minutes here. The Starlink team will be attempting to speed run these tests, or excuse me, speed run test these version 3 satellites, where they will attempt to do a few tests, such as extend the new solar arrays and antennas. They're also going to try and connect these V3 satellites with ground stations and turn on the satellite's communication systems. Now, they're only going to have about 20 minutes or so to do all of this, as these satellites only have that long before they demise in the atmosphere or break up due to that friction when they re-enter the atmosphere.
Om någon i Sydafrika har en Starlink nu så kan de ju få väldigt bra connection väldigt kort tid.
Super exciting. You could basically say that the payload's payload is data. Like
That's right.
We're getting very Inception here. Now, in addition to those tests for Starlink, for the Starlink team, as Dan mentioned, 6 of the satellites have been modified with engineering cameras to help scan Starship's heat shield. That will help inform our analysis of Starship's readiness for future catch returns back here at our launch site. So for those that might be unfamiliar, we are currently capable of catching our super heavy booster, and we've done that a couple of times. We have not yet attempted to catch our second stage or ship, and so that is going to be a very exciting milestone when that day comes.
For sure, and we're building up to it with today's test. We are still planning to do our water splashdown in the Indian Ocean, so stay tuned for that. That's only about 40 minutes away. But still, in space, we keep on deploying our Starlink satellites. Again, these are our V3 version of our Starlink satellites, a whole host of added capabilities to our version 2 that's currently in orbit.
And this is our team here at Starbase, Texas.
Cool jävla Mars-klot de har där uppe.
That have helped build the vehicle, that have built the Pez dispenser and got it ready to fly today. Amazing work.
Now, for those of you that have just recently tuned in, there is a spaceship in your screen, we promise. Right now, the ship is in orbital darkness, so we don't have any available sunlight from the sun to help illuminate the scene. But what you can see moving out from that smally lit space, those are the V3 satellites as they are being deployed. And essentially, the ship is illuminated from the inside, and so we're able to see the light come out through the payload door.
Right. Just a really small sliver of light at the top. That's our Pez dispenser. That's how we're both loading our satellites into the rocket and deploying it. It's pretty novel. We've got about 3.5 minutes still left of our payload deploy sequence.
Yep, looks like we've got 16 satellites deployed, so 4 more to go. These last couple will have those cameras, so if you see any sudden bright lights, that'll be flashlights turning on those satellites to try and get some imagery of Starship's heat shield. 17 out the door. 3 more to go, and 18.
Visst kommer Starship behöva rotera 180 grader om de ska kunna se värmeskölden? Jag har för mig att vi inte såg det sist. Alltså.
While we wait for these last 2, we did confirm we are still go for our Raptor relight demonstration a little bit later in the flight today, so we will be looking to relight one of those Raptor engines on
Hoppas
ship.
att det går bra.
And that'll be our next major milestone after we get through these final 2 satellites.
Okej, då hoppas vi på fina bilder här i alla fall.
Just at 25 minutes into our flight, it's crazy to think that we're already screaming at 27,000 kilometers an hour, 200 kilometers above the ocean surface. Amazing.
Yeah. Now, for those of you that lost count, we have deployed almost all of our 20 Starlink satellites. I believe our last count was at 18, so we should be seeing 2 more. And we're very excited to see our version 3 satellites in space. And these are fully, these are real satellites.
Right.
They're not just demonstration sats like we had last time. These are going to basically have a 20-minute lifespan where our Starlink engineering team will attempt to perform a number of tests and really speed run those tests during that time.
Right. And in terms of satellite lifespans, 20 minutes is it's the shortest you could possibly get, but hopefully in that 20-minute time frame we can really try and ink out as many tests as we can.
It looks like we might have some, this might actually be light from one of the Starlink satellites. As we mentioned before, a few of them, 6 of them actually are equipped with flashlights to look back at Starship as we want to image the heat shield and understand the heat shield performance through the ascent phase, as this information is very important for us to know and understand as we prepare for operations that will enable ship to come back to Starbase for landing, for catch, I should say.
Right. And we are about 40 seconds away from that planned payload deployment sequence being complete.
Yep, looks like we've just got those last 2 to go. These ones might be coming out. Oops, they're starting to see motion.
Yeah.
19 out the door, 1 more.
It looks like we got a crowd at our Hawthorne, California location. Some colleagues gathering outside of mission control there as well.
That marks, if I'm not mistaken, our 20th. So our payload deploy sequence is now complete. Starship will now close its payload bay door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. Still a lot of major events to come today, including our Raptor relight burn at T plus 38 minutes, 58 seconds, followed by atmospheric re-entry, where the heat shield will be put to test, and eventually our splashdown. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go on to another quick coast.
Yeah, so
kan man få se lite vyer från satelliten också, eller?
More space jams, and we will come back here at T plus 37 minutes for our Raptor engine relight and, of course, Starship re-entry.
Kom igen. Wow, vad är det för ljus jag kollar på där? I hörnet. Kan det vara satelliterna? Eller är det marken?
TBC checkouts.
Nej, vi är inte riktade mot marken, right?
TBC checkouts complete.
Det kan vara satelliterna. Det här ser helt sjukt ut. Nu känns det som att den roterar värmeskölden mot lamporna, right? Det får vi inte heller se, eller? Hoppas satelliterna funkar. Hoppas SpaceX åtminstone får se detta. Det där var en åskblixt, så nu kollar den ju uppenbarligen hyfsat neråt, eller? Wow. Där ser man lamporna i alla fall. Men inga externa vyer. Lite oroande. Men vi får hoppas att det bara är att SpaceX håller dem för sig själva. Och inte att satelliterna inte funkar.
Welcome back once again to the Flight 13 webcast. If you're just joining us, our newest version of Starship, which you see there on your screen, successfully deployed 20 Starlink version 3 satellites. And I've got great news to share. Not only were we able to make contact with all 20, but we also made comms over lasers with all of them as well. So that is awesome.
Nice.
Hell yeah, shout out to our Starlink team. We're so thrilled.
Huge milestone. And that's only 3 minutes or 5 minutes after deploying them. I mean, that's crazy.
Amazing.
And
right now, we are expecting a relight of a single Raptor engine, and that's going to be coming up in just over a minute and a half from now.
That's right. We are going to be lighting one of our sea-level Raptor engines, and this is essentially just a demonstration that you can relight an engine after it's already done its ascent burn. And this is going to be really important when we do maneuvers for orbital missions, whether we're relighting to go into orbit, or if you're already in orbit and you're getting ready to do a deorbit burn. We did hear our Raptor team is go for the engine relight, so not going to be skipping it on this one. So we should see that coming up in just about 45 seconds from now. Again, this is not a deorbit burn for this ship. We are on a suborbital trajectory, so this Starship is coming back over the Indian Ocean no matter what. But this is going to be a pretty critical test for what we'll eventually need to do when we do orbital missions. When you got to relight those engines, do a burn to get yourself out of orbit. One thing that is unique on this one is we're going to be lighting it for a little bit longer of a time. We're expecting this burn to be up to about 14 seconds.
Oj.
We've only done about 3 seconds previously. And so that should be coming up
Men då
within the next
hur
couple of
fan kan de
seconds.
få den att ändå landa
Stand
på
by.
samma ställe? Och de gör en sån jävla manöver. What? Vad kollar jag på?
You see relight there on your screen.
Wow.
And confirmation over the net. Relight shutdown. The burn has ended. Congrats to the team on this milestone. I mean, it's crazy to see how we can maneuver in space and
Det såg inte alls ut som jag trodde det skulle se ut, men det såg jävligt coolt ut.
So we're going to be taking another quick break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes before re-entry, which is targeted for about T plus 47 minutes. So we'll see you soon.
För alltså har de så pass bra styrförmåga i atmosfären att om de nu hade behövt avbryta Engine Relight-testet så skulle de ändå kunna landa på samma ställe med bojarna. Jag trodde hela grejen med att göra ett 3 sekunders test med motorerna när de var i omloppsbanan var för att inte förskjuta omloppsbanan så mycket.
Vehicle and entry prep.
Är det redan lite plasma man börjar se? Så här högt upp. Minns inte riktigt när det börjar glöda om raketen. Jag har aldrig tänkt på vilken höjd det är på. Det ser rimligtvis ut som att raketen glöder lite här, right? Jag tycker de här kamerorna är svåra att avgöra vad man kollar på.
Starship is starting entry. Good attitude for entry.
Ja, då preppar vi för en ljusshow. Som redan verkar ha börjat här med fina gröna färger får man säga. Aurora. Känns de här färgerna som, eller hur?
Welcome back once again to Starship Flight 13, the second test flight of Starship version 3. As you can see by these pretty cool views on your screen, the ship is currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. Now, we probably have some first-time viewers tuning in today, so let's talk about this phase.
Right, so re-entry, it's a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship's systems perform. So re-entry, you can see that speed in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We have to scrub all of that speed down so that way we can safely land. It's a lot of energy to be able to scrub down.
Och trots att det ser ut som att vi redan är djupt in i re-entry här så ser vi också att hastigheten fortfarande ökar. Det är alltså knappt någon friktion mot skeppet ännu. Men de partiklar som finns där, det är väldigt få partiklar runt skeppet just nu för att den är så långt upp i atmosfären. Men de partiklar som finns där, de blir väldigt fuckade av att skeppet trycker dem liksom, right? Så därav ser det ut som att vi liksom verkligen bromsar som fan nu, trots att vi ökar oss. En göteborgare bakom micken. Ja, men det är klart, det är klart.
Velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or about 5 miles per second. So at those speeds, the spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere so fast that it creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
That blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication. Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out, which is exactly why we're testing this landing procedure that we're doing today. And we're doing these propulsive landings instead of more traditional means like parachutes, because propulsive landing.
Control of the vehicle.
You heard that call out. Flaps do have control of the vehicle. You can actually see one view.
Den kommer landa i havet i Indiska oceanen. Så den lyfte från Texas och så flög den genom Karibien förbi Afrika och nu är den på väg ner då i Indiska oceanen. Du ser kartan nere på, eller jordgloben nere på skärmen. Men den kommer komma ganska nära Australien innan den går ner för touchdown eller splashdown som det heter när den landar i havet.
Made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads that it experiences as it returns. So safe to say that if it makes it through those specific points, we're doing pretty well.
That's right. So we'll continue to hear multiple callouts as we go through this phase. One of those callouts will be that the ship is transonic. We'll also hear another one when it's subsonic. Transonic will be referring to the period of flight where velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly at roughly Mach 0.74.
Oh my god, jag hade så gärna vilja se
just for reference,
Starbase.
Between 480 miles per hour to 575 miles per hour.
Oh fuck, det där är en av mina drömdestinationer, det kan jag berätta för dig. Herre jävlar.
And subsonic, another call out that you'll hear later on in the stream. Subsonic will refer to speeds that are much less than the speed of sound. So at this point in flight, the ship's velocity will be slowing down drastically. So with re-entry well underway, we'll take another break. and return just before the ship's landing burn, targeted for T plus 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Nu börjar sakta in i alla fall. Jävlar, alltså det är så många olika färger man får uppleva på Reentry. Tror ni bara de har så här hue-mätare på kameran och så bara de drar den sakta så att det är egentligen bara en färg men de skiftar kamerans hue hela tiden för att det ska se fräckt ut. Det känns så absurt att man får verkligen varenda jävla färg i hela det synliga spektrat av en Reentry liksom. Hur kan alla färger få vara med i en Reentry? Så det börjar med grönt och lila. Nu har vi blått och rosa typ. Här borta har vi guld. Ja, bara en sån sak. Rosa bärst. Alltså I'm telling you. Det är bara en färg. De bara justerar kamerainställningar alltså. White balance. Fuck yeah. Har de en Saturn 5 i Houston? Det har de inte, va? Jag såg en Saturn 5 i Florida. Det är enda gången. Det är en av 2 gånger jag varit i USA, så var vi i Florida på Kennedy Space Center. Men då var det ingen raketuppskjutning, så det var ju lite bummer. Men man fick i alla fall se några raketer på marken, vilket var ballt. Väldigt ballt. Men hade man åkt dit idag så liksom, det är ju typ omöjligt att inte är en raketuppskjutning från Florida på en vecka liksom. Så var det inte 2013 kan jag berätta. Då var det typ en raketuppskjutning i månaden. Japanernas svar på SpaceX med perfekt landning. Pratar vi den här hopper-grejen eller Kinas raket som landade i ett nät typ? Jag vet faktiskt inte vad du menar, men oavsett vad de är så är det jävligt kul att massa olika aktörer är igång och ska försöka göra återanvändningsbara raketer. Just det, hopperraketer, ja. Ja, men det... Vi lever i den bästa tidslinjen alltså, vi gör verkligen det. Ja jävlar, kolla på bakvingen där vad det börjar hetta till alltså. Hetta till om skuldran. Var det så att någon skulle gå in ganska brant den här gången? Det känns som att varje gång säger man så här, nu ska de verkligen stresstesta värmeskölden. Och varje gång så går det ganska bra liksom. Men jag tror att de skulle liksom försöka stresstesta värmeskölden ännu mer den här gången. Wow. Det är jättesvårt att veta om sånt där är liksom fysiska händelser eller om det är kamerans inställningar som ändras. Ja men precis. De har verkligen rampat upp rymdfarten i USA alltså.
Ja, då har vi Ukraina-flaggan här då. Även känd som svenska flaggan i färgerna. Mycket fint, mycket fint. Slava Ukraini, som man säger. So far so good, right? Ja, typ det sämsta med att Elon Musk köpte Twitter var ju typ att SpaceX då blir tvingade att bara streama det. Vad fan? Det är dumt. Min granne när jag pluggade i Stockholm, han pluggade farkostteknik och KTH och han fick mig att fastna för SpaceX. Så jag har följt sedan första uppskjutningen och han bor och jobbar numera på NASA i USA. Wow! Vilken grej! Sen första uppskjutningen, alltså första Falcon 1-uppskjutningen. Oh, nu börjar man se gnistorna här också. Ja. Och marken. Trevligt. Wow. Kul. Då har du verkligen varit med på resan från rymden är någonting som bara NASA håller på med till rymden är för alla som har pengar nog. Typ. Jag har följt rymdfart ganska... Liksom, jag har alltid varit intresserad av rymden liksom. Men jag har bara följt det noggrant sen 2014 ungefär. Det var precis innan SpaceX började landa sina raketer. Men liksom Falcon 9 var ju redan en raket när jag började liksom kolla på raketuppskjutningar och sånt där. Men att jag skulle få se detta 10 år senare, det trodde jag kanske inte riktigt på. Så jävla kul. Men det ser riktigt stadigt ut än så länge, eller hur? Det har inte varit så mycket gnistor och sånt där som det annars kan vara liksom. Jag tror vi kommer få se drönarna visa en lika intakt värmesköld som vi såg förra gången nu då. Om inte en ännu bättre. Fan vad kul. Fan vad kul.
Hell yeah. Ja, då har vi...
Starship is leaving the peak heating phase of entry. External temperatures are coming down.
Jättebra, jättebra. Jag tänkte säga att nu har vi tappat ungefär 2/3 av hastigheten och vi rör oss fortfarande 10 gånger snabbare än ett jumbojet. Så... det får lite perspektiv på hur snabbt en sån här maskin rör sig alltså.
Starship is at maximum entry dynamic pressure.
Ja, det är sjukt stabilt alltså. Det är sjukt stabilt. Undrar om de kommer göra några banking turns den här gången. Det såg ju så jävla sjukt ut sist, eller? När det typ gjorde en 180. Bara slidade runt. Ja, det vore en sjuk framtid alltså. Mitt största problem med det är att Starship kräver sina motorer för att landa. Om ett flygplans alla motorer går sönder så kan den fortfarande glidflyga och landa. Ja, kolla, nu ska vi drifta här lite. Q Tokyo Drift. Wow. Jävla nose down.
Starship is executing the swoosh maneuver.
Swoosh maneuver. Fy fan. De kan sina namn i alla fall.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
Bellyflop och swoosh och... Vad mer har de?
Welcome back one last time to Starship Flight 13,
the
second flight of Starship version 3. As you can see on your screen with crisp views from Starlink, the ship is currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere over the Indian Ocean. And really for the last several minutes, we had some amazing Technicolor views. It really looked like it was made out of starlight. Now, we did hear on the nets just moments ago that we made it through max heating and max dynamic pressure, meaning that the vehicle temperature and speeds and pressure are all coming down, and we can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen as that speed continues to decelerate. We're coming up to the ship landing burn. One of pretty much everybody's favorite part of Starship test flight days, and that's going to be coming up here in just about a minute or so.
Yeah, just about a minute away. We're going to try and light all 3 Raptor sea level engines for this burn. We'll light 3.
Okay.
Flip. We'll eventually go down to 2 as we get close down to the water, down mode to a final 1 engine before we hopefully execute a nice soft splashdown. We'll see if we've got our buoys and drones in range with the recovery team. They're going to be standing by to try and get some additional views of Starship's heat shield, which from kind of our initial looks, it did pretty well on the flight uphill, but we'll continue to dig through all the visual data.
Nu jävlar kommer vi här. Kom igen!
We didn't do any real stress tests or anything on this flight. We did do, you heard our landing launch flight controller call out. We were doing the swoosh maneuver. This is kind of the final maneuver that we plan to have starships returning to Starbase do. That will essentially hook them out over the Gulf before coming in and over Tower 2. But about 10 seconds away, look for 3 Raptors, the 3 in the middle, to light up, do a flip. Let's see if we can get this thing in the water.
Okej, kom igen.
3 sea levels lit. Pressure's on. Did our flip down to 2.
Snyggt. Ja.
Ship descending into the Indian Ocean. Down to 1.
Okej.
And we're in the water. And it's a soft splashdown in the water.
Den exploderade inte.
That is a first.
Vad fan? Då är det bara att sätta en utombordare på den och ta in den. För fan. USA! USA! Vad fan? Sätt en utombordare på den! Han ska tillbaka! Wow! Vad hände? In i helvete!
Floating so serenely in the Indian Ocean, so we're certainly enjoying the extended views. Like I said, we're really pumped about this.
Hell yeah!
Check in with Tyler. Tyler, how is Hawthorne feeling about Lucky Flight 13?
Hey, Kate, we are so excited about another successful Starship test flight and those gorgeous Starlink views that we had. And we can also confirm that we managed to make contact with all 20 of those V3 sats. So it's a massive day for us. So congratulations to everyone at the team at Starbase, for Starlink, everyone here and around the company who've
Wow, de kommer kunna fota high-res med drönare nu innan den sjunker och få liksom, alltså, så här riktigt bra stillbilder. Det är ju
Thanks so much,
det är asgrymt egentligen för datainsamlingen att den ligger kvar och flyter en stund. Kolla det här! Precis! This is what I'm talking about! Yo!
How the atmospheric re-entry, how it disperses the heat around the edge of the vehicle. I don't think we've seen quite that close before.
Never. And
det här är sparks of fully and rapidly reusable rockets.
That is
fuck yeah!
Insane data for our team. It's unbelievable that we were able to keep that ship afloat. Now, we promised maximum excitement, and Starship V3 delivered. Congratulations to all of our teammates at SpaceX and to everyone who supported the Starship program.
Whoa!
And thank you to all of our future customers.
Vad fan var det jag såg där? Var det en drönare som hade doppat tårna i vattnet?
We'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County.
Vad fan är det här?
The Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation
Är det en boj som har hamnat upp och ner?
The amazing views do not end, so be sure to follow SpaceX on X.
Det är vingen!
And more of these exciting shots that we didn't get to
feature
Starship on today's broadcast.
And to get an inside real-time
look
into the teams bringing this incredible rocket to life, check out the latest episode of our documentary series, Starship. And of course, thanks to all of you for tuning in. And we're going to head back up to Dan for some additional thoughts.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind right now. We are still getting views from on board the ship with it in the water. Like,
hur fan går det till när alla Starlink-terminaler är ju upp och ner på båden? Det måste kommunicera med bojen nu på typ radio eller någonting. Inte en chans att den har Starlink-kontakt.
You're working with a slightly charged starship in the water. And now we have one intact. So the recovery team is moving in with their drones, and that we are still getting views from Starship. It is sending these via Starlink from the other side of the world while it is floating in the water after flying through space, like this is just completely surreal right now. This is just a mountain of data.
Vad säger ni om första bemannade testflygningen, så kör vi som bor i Göteborg gemensam samling på debatthuset. Det hade faktiskt varit jävligt kul att ha en meetup watch-along.
As a reminder, we were flying at a significantly higher dynamic pressure, so putting way more stress on this vehicle on the way uphill.
No kidding!
Sitting there in the water.
Boxera in den här jäveln för fan!
So,
är det möjligt?
I'm a little bit over the moon on this. I know a lot of our team is
just read the instructions.
In the control room behind me.
Stick!
I mean, everybody is psyched.
Stick och hämta den här! Skit i Falcon 9, de kan landa på land, det är lugnt alltså. Bara åk och hämta det här nu.
Ones that are missing right now on one hand. Like, this is just absolutely incredible. And the fact that like the cameras on board the ship are still sending back
alltså
video
fatta att det är någon som sitter och kör den här drönaren nu. Fattar ni hur skakiga hans händer är? Och han bara, what the fuck, det är bästa bilderna jag fått. What the fuck, vi klarar det. Alltså, recovery-teamet måste ju freaka ut just nu.
All right. As Kate and Nate said, we're going to keep releasing more of this. Stay tuned. We've got some really cool stuff from some of the onboards that we caught, so keep following us on X at SpaceX. Whole bunch more cool imagery from launch from the flight that's going to be coming out soon. Yeah, let's just close on that. I mean, look at Starship in the Indian Ocean. That's fantastic. We'll see you all back here for the next flight test of Starship version 3. With that, we'll say goodbye.
Wow. Fuck yeah. Det är första raketen som är helt intakt. Vilket gör att medierna kommer skriva om det. Eller att de inte kommer skriva om det, tänkte jag nästan skulle säga. Vad fan ska rubriken vara? Elon Musks raket exploderar inte. Medierna har ju älskat att de här raketerna exploderar, även om det var tanken liksom. Musks jätteraket välter i havet och börjar brinna. Där har du titeln alltså. Watch Aftonbladet, bring it on. Ja, hur preppade är recovery-teamet egentligen? Eller heter de ens recovery-team? De kallas recovery-team va? Men de recoverar ju ingenting. men de goda herrarna ute på båten i alla fall. Hur preppade är de? Skulle de typ kunna ha flytbojar med sig så de kan fästa på en raket så att den håller sig flytande även om tankerna fylls med vatten? Alltså jag antar att det här egentligen inte spelar någon större roll att den landade så mjukt. Det var mest roligt att se. För SpaceX borde det spela lite roll för att de får tydligare bilder av värmeskölden. Men jag är nyfiken på att se hur SpaceX aktieägare reagerar på detta. De reagerar inte alls. De tyckte det var tråkigt att Boostern... Vi borde ta fram den här faktiskt. Ni vet den här grafen här va? Kolla här. Det här är väldigt roligt hur man kan läsa precis vad som hände här. 18:30. Ni ser här liksom. Detta är alltså amerikansk tid då. Antar jag. För det är inte svensk tid i alla fall. Men här så börjar man säga ana att wait, den här raketen kommer nog lyfta idag liksom. Och så där har den precis, här någonstans har den precis lyft. Och så har vi Boostern som misslyckas med landningen där. Och så deployment av insertion i omloppsbana, deployment av satelliter och landningen. Det följer precis hur det gick för Starship här.
Det var synd att Boostern sköt ner den så jävla djupt här. Jag tycker kanske att den här kunde varit liten och sen den här varit stor istället. Så hade jag varit extra nöjd. Men det är väldigt roligt att man så tydligt kan se händelseförloppet på aktien. Ja, jag ska byta till den här vi nu. Aftonbladet, nu ska vi se här. Fan vad det är skrivet. De vågar kanske inte fram till den eftersom... Nej, precis. Jag skulle gissa att de behöver hålla avstånd ett tag. Men å andra sidan, jag har sett Elon Musk gå bredvid en brinnande raket efter att de hade misslyckats med något hoppertest för Falcon 9, tror jag. Alltså när de hade första Grasshopper eller något sådär. Så bara han gick bredvid en brinnande raketmotor och kollade på den. Så... Men ja, förmodligen så låter de den bara sjunka liksom. Ta så många kort de kan och sen låt den sjunka. Den är för långt ut i havet för att boxera in ändå, right? Aftonbladet 0:50 svensk tid startade SpaceX uppskjutningen av sin hjärtraket Starship. Okej. Aftonbladet skriver att SpaceX skjuter upp Starlink igen. Okej, spännande. Wow, det är ju tekniskt sett korrekt då va? För att de sköt upp några Starlink V3 satelliter. Men det var inte det som var det mest intressanta som hände idag liksom. Och SpaceX har väl inte släppt några bilder från sina satelliter på Twitter? Nej. Men okej. Ska vi call it quits då? Tänk om den flyter upp i Australiens kust. Strandad val. Det vore ju ganska lustigt. Ja, nej, kul. Alltså, betyder detta att det finns en chans att nästa flygning har ett chip recovery-försök? Skeppet har lyckats landa ganska nära där det ska vara ganska många gånger i rad nu. Båda V3-flygningarna har ju varit on point liksom. Så jag skulle blivit positivt överraskad, men inte så förvånad, om man säger så. Om SpaceX faktiskt försöker gå för en chip catch nästa gång. De klarade också engine relight, right? Så de borde kunna vara fine med att gå in i omloppsbanan nu. Blue Origin var ju fine med att gå in i omloppsbanan första gången de flög New Glöm. Så jag fattar inte varför SpaceX är så jävla försiktiga med detta. Det är väl att Starship är så mycket större än andra steget på New Glöm, I guess. Men liksom de borde ha chans nu liksom. Jag antar att de kommer behöva liksom få ett nytt kontrakt av FAA om de ska göra det. Men ja. Australienare har ju hittat rymdskrot från tidigare uppskjutningar. Där ser man. Ja, tänk att gå på stranden och så ligger det en Starship där och man bara call dibs on that shit. Det är ganska bra loot alltså. 6 stycken halvt fungerande Raptor-motorer och en jävla massa stål.
kan man säkert göra något skoj av. Men jag ska gå och lägga mig. Så tack för ni som kollat och tack ni som inte kollat också. Vi lever i den bästa tidslinjen och det är kul att det är så. Och det är synd att inte alla fattar det. Men fuck yeah. Prenumerera för mera. Så ses vi nästa avsnitt eller stream. Ja, vad du tycker göra. Hej då.